Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Pop Culture Yearbook. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm the real Manos.
Manos and I have hopped once again into our time machine. And Manos, what year are we going back to today?
Well, we are taking the Wayback Machine all the way back to 1984.
1984. Among other things that happened in 1984, the most important is that I was born.
That's right.
But all kinds of other stuff happened. That was the year that the AIDS virus was identified. Mm-hmm. That was the year that DNA profiling started. That was the year that a bunch of important movies came out, or at least good movies. Ghostbusters came out that year. Did you know, Manos, that Ghostbusters was the second highest grossing film in 1984?
Yes, I did.
And it beat out a bunch of... And Beverly Hills Cop was the first, which is weird to me. Like, I didn't realize that was that big of a movie.
Oh, Eddie Murphy during the 80s. During his peak, there was nothing bigger.
I mean, that was the same year that Karate Kid came out, and Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Terminator.
Terminator, that's right.
Yeah.
That was a huge year. And oddly enough, the year 2010.
2010, yeah.
Movie 2010.
Which we talked about maybe talking about, but I guess we're not doing.
No. I am not going to talk about that, because there might be some crack in the time-space continuum if I bring up 2010 when we talk about 1984, in the year 2010.
That was also the year that the current version of Jeopardy started. I don't know if you knew that. That was the year that Alex Trebek started hosting Jeopardy.
Back when he had his mustache and afro.
Right. Well, Manos, what are you going to talk about today from the year 1984?
Well, today I am going to talk about a TV show that I enjoyed quite a bit in 1984. And it's a show that actually kind of became part of an important block of programming during the 80s. I am talking about Night Court. It's a show starring Harry Anderson. It was a show created by Reinhold Wedgie.
That's awesome. I wanted to do Night Court, but I just haven't seen it in so long. I couldn't remember enough about it.
Oh man!
Talk about it, really.
For the review, I actually rented the first season box set.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and I was very surprised how much I remembered of it. Actually,
does it still hold up pretty well?
It still holds up very well. Actually, I think the first season is really good. Let's see. Well, of course, anybody who's not too familiar with the show is about a young judge, Harold T. Stone, who seems not like a judge at all. He's a very young guy. He's in his early to mid-30s. He looks young for that. And he's also a prankster, and he has an odd sense of humor, and he has a very big kind of retro thing going on. He's a big fan of film noir in the 40s. He's a huge Mel Torme fan. He has an unhealthy hatred of Barry Manilow.
But really, who doesn't?
I know, but I mean, you can hate too much, and I don't think Batman hates the Joker as much as he hates Barry Manilow. But anyway, he gets a lucky break and gets assigned a court in sort of the Night Court, which is I forgot the technical terms for it. It's an actual kind of court system in New York City. The appellate arraignment judge, where it happens right at night, and the court system usually kind of files these people through. It's very quick, and it's very strange, and there's a lot of mismesh of people. And Wedgie thought that was a great place to put a sitcom, and he was actually a creator. He was one of the writers of Barney Miller, and he enjoyed this kind of mixing of criminal law and humor, and because a lot of strange stories tend to come out of this kind of stuff. Anyway, the show also starred, it also had John Larroquette as Dan Fielding, Richard Mull as one of the bailiffs, Bull Shannon, who his first name, do you know what his first name was?
Mm-mm.
Nostradamus.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they eventually revealed that his name was Nostradamus.
That's awesome.
Now, there was a bunch of different cast changes from there. The original cast had a court clerk, Lana Wagner, who was played by Karen Austin. And let's see, there was a bunch of different defense attorneys, which eventually, I think in the third season, they settled on a character named Christine Sullivan, played by Marky Post. But the first season was supposed to be a romance between Karen Austin's court clerk character and Harry, and then she just left first season. And then she was replaced by this terrific actor. I'm trying to remember his name. Let's see, Charles Robinson. He played Mac Robinson. And and also the bailiffs were played by, there were quite a few bailiffs. There was Selma Diamond, who was the first for the first two seasons, then she died. Then she was replaced by Florence Hallop, who actually died after that season.
Oh, wow.
I know. Well, they wanted a kind of like an old lady, wisecracker kind of character. But after like two of them died of heart attacks, one after the other, they brought in Marsha Winfield, who was in her 30s. So they just settled like, okay, we just can't do this character, I guess. But what's interesting was I always thought the character was written for Harry Anderson, and actually it was just one of those weird coincidences. He came to Wedgie and said, I have to play this character. I am this character. And he actually thought that was just ridiculous, but he really was. He's a comedian and a magician, and that's exactly who Harry Stone was written to be. Dan Fielding, as played by John Larroquette, just stole this show forever because he was just a lecherous, womanizing, mean-spirited guy, but he had a weird heart of gold underneath all that, but he had to really look. He actually won, I don't know if you know this, 4 Emmys for that performance.
Wow.
As Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. Matter of fact, by the time the 5th year came along, he actually took his name out of the running. And he posted like a press release saying, I want to thank the Emmy Awards. They've been very generous. I thank them and appreciate them, and I feel like I'm done. And he just stood back. It was an amazing performance. The original season, I think, getting back to it, it's actually surprisingly sharp. I think the show in later seasons got a little cartoony. Matter of fact, very cartoony at sometimes. But I think it does a great job mixing the craziness of like New York at night, especially in the 80s, with there would be like homeless people and prostitutes and pimps, kind of just mixing around and just kind of wandering into scenes. It's in the whole middle of this, we have Harry Stone, who is kind of an old-fashioned guy, but he has like a new coat of paint on him for the modern era, if that makes any sense. And he's a very sensitive kind of like really thoughtful guy, trying to kind of think out of the box and as far as like doing his job and still within doing in the terms of the law. And it was a big show as far as it started out small, but it became part of NBC's Thursday night block, which had Cosby, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court, and then LA Law. And they just
imagine going back with a lineup like that?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have lineups like that anymore.
Not anymore. No. I mean, there's occasional nights here and there, but I mean, NBC owned Thursday. I don't know how many of you understand.
Yeah.
It was just their night. that for several years actually.
I think Brent Spiner was a recurring character on that show.
Yes, he played a hillbilly.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, he was great. He had a recurring role every so often. He was just the most down on his luck, depressed hillbilly. Even though it was like 1984, he looked like he walked right out of the Depression.
He did.
But I still, I want to thank you because I haven't seen the episodes in a while, and I rented this box set, and it's very enjoyable. It's a very simple box set, the first season, which has the first 15 episodes, because it was a mid-season replacement. And there's quite a few people appearing in the show. Like Michael J. Fox appears in the second episode. And he plays kind of a delinquent character, which is a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's my entry from 1984, Night Court.
Well, today I'm going to talk about something that I think is probably one of the most important contributions to pop culture by an artist ever.
Okay.
And that would be the Weird Al Yankovic album In 3D.
Yes.
Which is the album that really put Weird Al on the map. That was his second album. His first album was self-titled. It was called Weird Al Yankovic, and it came out in 1983. And it has some fun stuff on it, but In 3D is the album that had Eat It on it, which was his big breakout song, and got him really, really popular. The video for that was also really big on MTV, and within 3D he started. That was when he started making songs that sounded more like their original counterparts. So in his first album, he's got like his accordion in every song. And like Another One Rides the Bus was just him playing his accordion, and he had that on Dr. Demento, which I think was the thing that really got people to start noticing him. But then when he made this album, I think he had more money behind him, and he was just able to do more. And he still has his accordion because that's his trademark, but he just puts it in places where it's really funny. It's like intentionally, inappropriate.
Yeah, I think he still does the montage accordion tracks on his album.
Well, he does. Are you talking about his polkas?
Yeah, the polkas.
He does. Yeah, and this was the album that started the polkas. This one, his polka was called Polka on 45, and his polkas were always fun if you don't know about them, because he would take. And he still does them. He had one even on Straight Outta Linwood. He does one on almost every album. And what he does is he takes songs that already exist, and instead of changing the words, he just speeds them up and sings a bunch of them in one polka. And his polkas really are some of his cleverest work, I think. And also, his early polkas are really fun because of some of the songs that are on them, because they're just older classic songs now. I mean, this first polka had "Hey Jude" on it, and it had "Burning Down the House," and it had "Every Breath You Take," which was one of the funnier ones that's on there. And he's got "Smoke on the Water" and stuff like that. Believe it or not, I've seen Deep Purple in concert, by the way. But anyway, it has like 3 or 4 of his best songs, and then a bunch of songs that I think are just kind of lame. But like "Eat It," of course, is hilarious, and I think even to this day is one of his funniest things. And for some reason, he's just really good at parodying Michael Jackson, because both "Eat It" and "Fat" I think are brilliant pieces of work, really funny. But it's also got and this song is never talked about, but it has "I Lost on Jeopardy," which is always one of my favorite Weird Al songs.
I love that song.
And it has a really good video also. And in fact, we were just talking about Jeopardy. That was when Art Fleming was still when he wrote that. Art Fleming was still the host, and so it actually came out in the year after Art Fleming left, which is kind of funny. But it's also got the Brady Bunch song, which was a parody of Safety Dance. And it's weird because the lyrics to the Brady Bunch song actually fit right into the rhyme scheme for Safety Dance. And it's just brilliant. It cracks me up. And then the other one that was really funny on that was a theme from Rocky 13, which was his. Have you heard this?
I haven't thought about this song in a long time.
That's his parody of "Eye of the Tiger."
Yeah.
Which is Ryan the Kaiser, and he's basically singing about Rocky being fat and washed out and running a deli. And
so
he's
basically
like punching.
Balboa, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's just punching salami in the back room, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Is Dare to Be Stupid on this album, or is that the next
No,
album?
Dare to Be Stupid is an album. It was the third one. It came out in '85, and it's weird because his first three albums all were in consecutive years: '83, '84, and '85, and they got significantly more spaced out after that.
Mm-hmm.
Polka Party was no, actually, I'm sorry. Polka Party was the next year too. So he had 4 albums in 4 years.
Do you think it was probably maybe just the process of not just figuring out how to work these songs, but also getting the rights to do the parodies too?
Honestly, I don't think that was that hard because the way I understand the legality of this is that it's actually perfectly legal to steal music if you're doing a parody.
Yeah.
And so Weird Al, because he's a nice guy, has his people call the people of the artists to make sure that they're okay with it. But he's just getting permission. It's not a matter of legal rights. So there's no reason that would really take that long. I don't see why it would take more than a phone call. You know what I mean? Are you okay with Al doing this? No, I'm not. Okay, fine. You know.
Yeah. Did you hear the story about how he called Kurt Cobain?
No, I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, I remember watching this. Let's see. Yeah, it was an interview with Weird Al, and he had called Kurt Cobain so he could do "Smells Like Nirvana."
Right, which is one of his
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
And the first question Kurt Cobain asked him is this song going to be about food?
Right. Okay, I do remember hearing that, but I can't remember who said it.
And then Al said, well, no, Kirk, it's about how no one can understand what you're singing about. And he said, sure, okay, do that.
Yeah, it's great.
The thing that is so impressive about Weird Al that constantly gets me is the fact that he can do almost any musical style now. I mean, he he does it well too. I mean, he can sound like Nirvana. He can sound like Coolio. He can sound like all sorts of like different acts now. Like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I've always thought. Well, and these days he can rap, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And he has made songs I don't like listenable.
Yeah, it's true.
I really think that.
It's rap well. It's
he's great at it. I mean, the thing is, I've always thought that Weird Al is actually a slightly better musician than he even is a songwriter. Because I mean, like he can be really clever, but then there's also songs where he just like, and believe me, there are a bunch of Weird Al songs that I don't think are all that good. Some of his parodies can be kind of lame at times, and then some of his original pieces are kind of some of his lamest stuff. But then some of his original pieces are his best stuff. So a lot of times you get an artist that makes so much that something is going to be bad. But what I was going to say is he can be really clever. But then also there are just some things that he finds funny naturally that I just don't think are funny. You know what I mean? Like Weird Al is not above fart jokes and things like that. I'm just like, it's not funny. It does, it doesn't really make me laugh. But like he's really a showman. I've seen him live in concert. The man is just amazing on stage.
Oh, I'd love to see him in concert. I've never seen him in concert. I just realized that.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest concerts I've been to, actually. Sarah and I went back in '04, and it was great. That was just a couple years after he had released Poodle Hat.
Oh yeah, that's is that the one with the Coolio song?
No. That's much earlier. No, Poodle Hat is his second to last album. That's the one that came out in '03. And that's the one that's got that's got his Eminem parody.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Weird Al will always have a special place to be for me because I grew up with listening to his stuff, and I think that my sense of humor was somewhat developed by Weird Al. Really, between Weird Al, They Might Be Giants, and reading Douglas Adams, I think that really sums up my whole childhood development of my sense of humor.
I think I suddenly understand you now.
Well, anyway, I think that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, that was wonderful.
But anyway, we're going to take our time machine and come back to the present, and we'd like to wish everyone a happy new year, and hopefully there will be plenty of awesome things in 2011 to eventually come back to and look at with a time machine. And thanks a lot for visiting us in the Pop Culture Yearbook. I'm Captain Logan.
And I am the real Manos. Before we go, do you want to tip everyone off to what time we'll be traveling to next?
Well, this time we went to my birth year, 1984, and next time we're going to be going to Manos' birth year, which is 1971.
Get ready.
Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you next time.